Welcome back to SL Chennai Speaks Out. This is our final segment on the budget, people's aspirations, their expectations, especially the middle class. Mr. Lakshmi Narayan, as a senior citizen and also as a chartered accountant, the way we define senior citizen, income tax department says 65 years. The railways, when they give concessions, they consider 60 years. Retirement age in our country today varies between 58 and 60 years. There is no uniformity at all. So why tax people till they turn 65 when their effective income stops at 58 or 60? And two central government departments have different yardsticks.
Central governments have various views, always confusing. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate that they have 60 and 65. They should have only 60. The point is that it is not possible for me as a chartered accountant to save 1 crore rupees in my lifetime of 35 years or 40 years service. Even if I save 1 crore, if I go to the bank today, they give me only 6 lakh rupees as interest. On that, they deduct 1.5 lakh rupees as the TDS, a tax goes to the government. I left with 4 lakh 50,000, which is about only 40,000 rupees for my living. So with a car, with a house, and one boy to go to a college yet.
And 2 CT scans, it's over. Huh? 2 CT scans, it's over.
It's not over. It's unfortunate that senior citizens are hit hard, rather very hard, because of the lowering of interest.
Also, you get a grand extra thing of 0.5%, right? When you invest in the bank, 0.5% extra income. We've almost been insensitive to their needs. Budgets have been.
I agree. I would not considering this is an Please. That's right. Consider we are fair, so we would want to be.
We don't want you on this side at all. We don't want you at all. Professor can be given a chance.
But let me also point out some of the good things that have happened over the budgets
with
respect to senior citizens.
Okay.
Today, I can only relate to my father, who is a government servant. He is earning. He is earning. Yeah, he is earning. He is earning today as pension more than his income that he ever got in his life. That is a very important point. If I ignore that, I think I will do disservice to so many finance ministers who have come out with those kind of budgets. Now, whether is it adequate, whether it covers enough, is a different debate. What I am asking is there a situation where he can cover his basic needs such as food, shelter, and perhaps a reasonable medical facility?
So he's saying no. He's saying no.
No, I agree, but at that point of time, he also mentioned that he would have a son who is going to college. At 65 years, a son is going to college. I think he has started many things late. Right? So I think at this age he should have a son.
It could be his youngest son.
Yeah. Then he would have many sons who would have to support him, right? So I think we have an Indian culture where the parents are supported by youngsters and their incomes are rising. I have earned, incidentally, more income than my father did in his last pay. So would be the case for many of you. If you do not support your parents and leave them alone for their own toil, I think that's a sad state. How much of that will be satisfied by budget? I don't know today.
Professor, the only thing is that I'm not sure whether the example that you took about your father is that representative enough. Because I think that's one size of the population, one chunk of the population. But there are other people out there, who have been auto rickshaw drivers and those car, mechanics. What's going to happen to them after they reach 60? I think that's a big question.
No, but the budget has come out with
did all
scheme for
other
them,
senior
to be very
citizens
fair.
have getting
The budget has
pension
come out with
more
a
than
scheme
his
for them.
income, sir? Did all the other senior citizens getting pension more than their income? Your father is getting, right? Did all the other fathers are getting?
I think so.
No,
I think so. I think you got to be fair.
Division of pension has been done now. For instance, my grandmother, as the dependent of my grandfather, gets more pension now than what my grandfather earned as salary when he was alive. That's the point he's making.
A lot of middle class families, youngsters get a dream job in an IT company, and then they get ESOPs. They view that as savings. And then you have fringe benefit tax, and a lot of cases I know of people who have actually paid more fringe benefit tax than the market value of the shares when it went on. So
yes, you're right.
How would you, how have budgets addressed this? They have not. They've only made matters worse.
See, fringe benefit tax per se is a draconian thing which is under challenge now. So if you're looking at taxation of ESOPs or FBT per se, it is not something that is a matter that can be discussed here for the reason that it is sub judice. The levy itself has been. In principle, I agree. See, a lot of things that you've been throwing at us, healthcare, education, FBT, senior citizens, I agree that the budget possibly has not acted as as a vehicle for propagating schemes that could
Okay, I'll give you
help
one
these
more.
things.
Standard deduction. A lot of people.
There is some tinkering from year on year.
No,
But
standard
the-
deduction does not exist, no?
Yeah,
We don't have standard
yes.
deduction.
There's a demand to reintroduce it.
I would like to say that many times these tax, fringe benefit tax and other things came only because people were misusing the term called perquisites. Now, when there's an intention to misuse, then you're not actually subjecting your total income to the legitimate tax, and therefore they had to come with, they are reacting to wrong usages of provisions. So how can they do it?
But then there is a situation
I'm
now
supporting you,
where,
by the way.
I understand, there are situations where the reason for which it was introduced has not served its purpose. That's the point that he was making.
Fair enough.
It was introduced for a particular purpose, but the use to which, the interpretation to which it was given by various government departments and by people who are actually availing of that benefit was twisted in such a way that it did not serve its purpose. In such an event, the point is, yes, the government should do something about it. But like I was just telling them, the budget is a document which is, as the finance minister said, the budget is not an event. It is a procedure. It's a vehicle, it's a process, and you need two hands to clap. The government per se cannot do anything. We are looking at budget as an end to sustained economic development and growth. Why do we blame the government all the time?
Actually,
saying
where we can blame
not
the government
enough?
here, now, a lot of people, this is a common man's perception, the middle class perception that, and I'm asking you this because you represent several big industrialists, the big sharks as it were, in quote. The big sharks get away, but it's a small taxpayer who perhaps defaults for one, on one occasion, who will
has
then
his
have to
bank
pay a
account
penalty
attached.
and his bank account attached.
Yes.
But otherwise, what happens? Where is all the money in the Swiss banks?
I wouldn't
Why
agree.
is that?
I wouldn't-
Budgets have not breathed a word. I mean, not a
in
squeak
fact,
about all this.
tax information exchange agreements was one point that was addressed specifically in this budget. There is an organization worldwide which is called the OECD, which has a lot of bilateral agreements.
There's no political will, Anita, to...
Even common man gets away, ask the chartered accountant.
No, I think fundamentally,
Does a common man get away? That's what the professor says. Common
Ask the
man
chartered
gets away.
accountant.
No, common man pays tax, period. It's the uncommon man who gets away. Let me demonstrate, 1 minute. And on this I have strong objections here. It's a serious subject. Hassan Ali has got a charge of 40,000 crores. 40,000 crores, yes,
Right or
you
wrong?
do the same thing in
Right
the
or
court. 40,000 crores as the demand from the department. 32,000 crores as the interest and penalty. One guy has to pay government 72,000 crores. He's an unknown, unsung guy in Pune who is owning some horses. One guy. Now, government says he has deposited all this money in Swiss bank. They have entered into an MOU with Switzerland to get that money back, provided it's a tax dispute. It's a proven tax dispute. The man has got money, he has not paid tax. But if you look into the budget documents, the total money that the government has to recover from all taxes put together, excise, customs, service tax, disputed, undisputed, everything, is only 70,000 crores. Meaning, Hassan Ali has been allowed to get away. The point here is,
We're not talking about the budget here. You're talking
I'm
about
talking about
political
the
will.
budget
You're
documents,
talking
ma'am.
about other things. No, you're digressing totally.
Yeah, digressing.
You're
Absolutely
totally.
digressing.
No,
We
you
are
are
looking
on
at
the point.
how
This
does
is the budget
budget-
document.
Please take course.
No,
I don't know what is your course. I am inside the course. You are outside it. Please let us look at the budget documents. I'm talking about the budget documents. If you don't know this budget document, I can't help it.
The budget has specifically dealt with tax
Yes,
information
I'm
exchange
quoting you. Para
agreements.
124.
the common
Whether
man,
that gets executed, how it
Yes.
gets executed is an entirely different matter that's outside the scope of this
And of
discussion.
course,
I think
oh,
our
it
brief
also
has
means-
changed.
It also means you and I here sitting here have to implement it. right?
You are as much here as we are.
See, the problem is, you are right in saying the budget is an intention. However, if the intention keeps getting delayed or not getting implemented, the common man's money is not going where it's intended to go, and that is the problem.
How will it get intended in the way, how will it
common man is
culminate
very
in the
honest
way it is
in this
intended? It will get done only if there is an equal response from the other side of the table.
No, no, no. The
When you have
government,
people like
the
my friends on
government
the
is
other
supposed
side
to
who
implement
want to put
whatever it
spokes in the
proposes.
wheel. No,
Yes or no? That's the job
Yes,
of the
yes,
government.
Yeah, the young man there.
Financial inclusion, which is the talk of the time now. So as Honorable Minister, our Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee proposed that he's going to issue more bank lines to the private players like Reliance, and so do you think it will really help in financial inclusion? Like in 1993, ICICI Bank, HDFC, UTI were given, even Yes Bank, Kotak, Mahindra were given. But what was the effect? Do you think it will really benefit?
personally, I would think that it is. We don't question the. We are not here questioning the intention of the government. The intentions of government is always noble. Every government's intention is noble, right? It's about how it gets executed. It's about how it gets executed. You know, financial inclusion today is a great topic. It's a fantastic subject because you're touching the guy out there somewhere in the far villages. And I would tend to agree that the number of microfinance institutions that has come in the country, I think, is phenomenal. Pranab Mukherjee also made a reference to a point. He says that wherever there is a hamlet or a little village with 2,000 odd people, we should be in a position to provide banking services to them, right? I think that's a noble intention there. The question here is that to what extent large banks, government-owned banks, have actually reached out to the masses. Many of the private sector banks were limited by the ability of rules, in the sense that they were not allowed to operate beyond a certain criteria, right? They were defined by criteria there. If there is a liberalization around those rules and regulations, obviously the intention of the government will be met. But I think that it remains to be seen.
The intention of government is quite confusing in this case, because one side they want to merge banks and they want to bring it to global size, bank of global size. In other side they want to create small banks with private sector.
Actually, India requires a Grameen bank of the type and model of what Bangladesh did. Okay, for small fruit, vegetable vendors, persons who sell you the flowers with a hand measure, people like that require a Grameen bank. But no private sector is going to set up the Grameen bank. It's only the government which has to do. But government wants to look at aping Citibank model and converting State Bank into another Citibank. This is what will happen.
But the point is, does the person, that the rickshaw puller, want to deposit money in the account? My students have done a survey. They don't want to bank their money because they are afraid it will attract tax.
Yes. No, that is the fear you have created. The government has created this fear. It is incumbent on the government to remove this.
Bank people say that it is unprofitable to have too many accounts.
Exactly.
They say it is not giving any profit because workload increases.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Any readjustments in paying tax will give any relief to the taxpayers, individual taxpayers?
All right, I want to ask, in fact, the Chartered Accountant and Senior Citizen here, gratuity has been again static for a long time at 3.5 lakh rupees. There's been a demand to make it 10 lakh rupees. Again, senior citizens left out in the cold? At least retired persons?
Those who have served the companies will get up to 10 lakhs, that's all.
We're talking about financial inclusion and things like that. I mean, when there were so many banks which are existing which could not reach out to the microfinance and microcredit, what are the new ones going to do? We're having private players like Fullerton and all that lending at exorbitant interest rates to the farmers.
Today, Canara Bank, for example, covers 100% of South India villages in terms of microfinance.
All right. Whether it's jewelry for your sweetheart or your children for their wedding, things are going to cost more. But what do you believe, you the viewers, do you believe that the middle class has been left out in the cold? Do write to us. You can email us to feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. From all of us here on the Chennai Speaks Out team, thank you for watching. We'll catch you again next week at the same time.